Okay, this is the game of the week. I'm curious to know where it is on your season rankings for watchability. We have the number 11 Texas Longhorns at the number 3 Alabama Crimson Tide. Bama is a 7-point home favorite. This game has an over-under 54.5 points. Kicks off 7 p.m. on ESPN. That's your college game day choice. This game is probably going to be pretty electric. Alabama, interestingly, is now the number 1 power-rated team after week 1. I saw that move in many rankings and the aggregates as well. Jalen Milroe, looks to be the starter again this week. I don't think we learned anything about him, though, from the MTSU game, but we are going to learn a lot about him this week. There's going to be usable data points on both of these teams following this game. Alabama carries a 56-game non-conference win streak into this. As close as they came was that 20-19 win against Texas last year. A lot of people are saying Texas could win this game this year. Maybe it is at stake here, but currently on a 56-game non-con win streak. Texas, they were as vanilla as could possibly be last week. They were a little bit sluggish to start against Rice, but they ended up taking care of business. I think it's because they didn't want to show their hand for anything for this game. My favorite matchup to watch, maybe in the whole country this week, is the Texas wide receivers against Alabama's defensive backs. We're talking the number 4 defensive back unit in the country and the number 5 wide receiving core, according to Phil Steele's preseason unit ranks. I think it's still early enough in the season to count those as a considerable, at least. This may be the only unit in the country, capable of manning up Texas's pass catchers. I don't know that there's many others that can go toe-to-toe with the amount of depth and talent that they have. It's going to be an absolute fight.
Yeah, thanks for asking the question on the front end. Let me look this up over here, Brett. So I've got it for you. Last week, I had this game with a watchability score of 95.5. Oh, yeah. I mean, that would have been a top 10 game of the season. I had it number 6 in the preseason. I now have it number 29 on the year. It's still my number 1 game of the week, but it's down from 95.5 to 89.8. A couple reasons for that. Alabama is improved. You said they were your number 1 power rated team in your aggregate. They're my number 1 power rated team as well. Texas fell from number 6 to number 12, and because Texas was already the underdog, now they're a bigger underdog, so it's hurting the overall competitiveness component of the watchability score. The average quality is still really, really good, but the competitiveness has taken a hit now. This is my number 1 game of the week. Like I said, I wrote about it for thelines.com. That one's up there on the website. I have Alabama minus 12.5 now, which I think last week it maybe was like 8. So 4.5 point swing with Alabama coming up and Texas going down. It's an 81% win expectancy. My previous number 1 Georgia and number 2 Ohio State struggled for parts of their games in week 1. Alabama looked good from the jump in their 56-7 win over Middle Tennessee. The Tide are now 1.5 points clear of the Bulldogs and Buckeyes in my power ratings, and they boast the number 2 offense and number 6 defense in the nation. This is now projecting as Alabama's most difficult remaining game of the season. It was kind of a toss-up before between this one and the home game against LSU. We saw what happened to LSU. Their power rating went down accordingly as a result of that game. So this is the toughest test of the year by my numbers for Alabama. They're getting it early here. I expect Nick Saban to have these guys ready after the scare in Austin last year. They pulled it out, but it was a 19-20 victory for the Crimson Tide in Austin a year ago. Even though Texas won 37-10 against Rice in week 1, the Longhorns' performance, as you mentioned, did not live up to the model's lofty expectations. So Texas is down, like I said, from number 6 to number 12. The defense actually improved. I liked what I saw on that side from number 16 to number 12. So really good defense. The offense tumbled a little bit, though. Had them number 11, now they're number 25. You said they had a sluggish start. I agree. The numbers don't like that. When you're projected to be the better unit by a significant margin, you got to come out with your foot on the gas to start. And Texas did not do that. My numbers favor Alabama on both sides of the ball, and this game is in Tuscaloosa. I'm sure Texas was holding things back. You said they were very vanilla. I don't disagree with that. They didn't want to put everything on tape for Alabama to study. But if the Longhorns are going to pull this one off, they're going to need to dig deep into their bag of tricks. The last time Nick Saban lost at home, you talk about their non-conference win streak. The last time they just lost a game at home, period, conference, non-conference, Joe Burrow's LSU Tigers in 2019. It's been a while. Bottom line, I have Alabama minus 12.5 at home. It equates to an 81% win expectancy for the Crimson Tide.
I think a big question is, well, how is Quinn Ewers going to play here? Because he played really well until he got hurt in last year's game, but on the road, he's actually been pretty solid. And I have to give a shout-out to the college football nerds for sharing this data here that I'm going to share here. 67% completion rate, 8.4 yards per attempt, and under a 1% interception rate on the road. Not bad. He didn't play very well at the end of last year, but I think he'll be able to come in here. The numbers suggest that he may be able to come in here and play a pretty solid game. The numbers say Alabama's undervalued. Your numbers say it. My aggregators say it. It's about 11.7, so 12 right by you. So I'd probably take 7 or better if I had to bet on this game. But to be honest, I don't think this is a game I'm going to bet on in terms of spread and total. It's just one that I'd like to sit back and enjoy and learn some things about these teams.